So yay. All right. Hopefully people hop on and join us and we'll get started then because I like to start on time and it's hard watching those videos where people are like, okay, and they're like waiting and toggling around. So, all right. So I am here with Emily and Ashley and they are Tutorpreneur Academy alums and they are ready to share their story with you guys about their journey to become a tutorpreneur. And I've got a ton of questions for them. And if we have any questions at the end from you guys, just feel free to put them in the chat and I will get to answering them. All right, so can you guys start? I'll start with Emily. Just introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about you, your background, and what you're doing with your tutoring business.
Hi, yeah, I'm Emily, and I'm an English and reading tutor for middle school and high school students. I have my master's in education, and I substituted for about 3 years, K through 12, and then I got a job teaching at a local college. And so I worked at the college for about 3 years as well, teaching English. Sidestepped to a different type of job. I wasn't loving the classroom setting, but I stumbled across Molly and her information earlier this year, and it got me back in I want to teach kids, I want to work with kids again. And so we started looking at tutoring. So I didn't have to be in a classroom working for someone else. I can work for myself and help students directly. So I've been loving it.
Yeah, and when we worked together, you kind of expressed that the whole classroom wasn't really your vibe, but you really did like the one-to-one that tutoring provides you. And
yeah,
I think that's like really good that you understood that about yourself and you didn't suffer through years and years of being a classroom teacher and being totally miserable. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Em. All right, Ashley, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and your big accomplishment that you had recently?
Hi, I'm Ashley. I just recently graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with my PhD in chemistry. And I started my business in May with Molly, and I tutor high school and college students in chemistry and math.
And you had worked for another tutoring company, right? Before you decided to branch out on your own?
Yes. So previously I'd worked for Varsity Tutors and also just tutoring on the side through the previous schools that I went to. And I decided that I can do this myself. So
yes.
Here I am.
Yeah, I'm so glad you empowered yourself because I'm assuming now, we'll look at your website in a little bit, but I'm assuming you're getting, well, when you work for yourself, you get to keep all of the profit. And I bet that's a lot better than when you're working for someone else.
It sure is.
I was just talking with a tutor today and she was telling me that she charges $40, but the company she works for ends up taking most of it. So she only makes $15 per half hour. So that is rough.
It is.
Especially if you're like Emily and you want to totally do it like as your profession, and like, how are you supposed to live off of that? I don't even know. So, okay. So you guys have some teaching background though too. So Emily, you worked as a sub for 3 years, you said, and then Ashley, when you were getting your PhD, you taught, I'm assuming some, right? You taught some college courses.
Yes. So I've been actually teaching college courses since I was an undergrad. And so for about like 8-9 years now, I've been teaching college courses and it's been really great. So transitioning from like being an undergrad teaching undergrads and then a graduate student teaching undergrads as well. It's a very different experience.
Yeah. And how do you think working with college level kids like has helped you as a tutor, helped your tutoring business?
I like the flexibility that it has. Like a lot of college students, there's not like parents hovering over me, but there are still some parents hovering. But college students, they actually learn how to become more independent. And so like they're coming to these sessions and they're just like, okay, this is what I have. This is what I want to do. And I kind of like that flexibility other than like actually being in the classroom, like this is the curriculum that I have to teach. And I could bring more fun and creativity into my tutoring lessons as well.
And Emily, do you find the same thing with tutoring high school kids that like, do you think that parents hover over your sessions at all? Or what is your thought on that?
I haven't experienced that yet. Most parents let the kids kind of take control because they can explain to me what their assignments are. they're able to navigate Google Classroom, and, you know, we can go over, they know what they're reading, they understand what's due and what the assignment is usually. So the parents tend to stay out of it, and I like that.
That's good. The reason I brought that up is because I find the same thing in my tutoring business, that the parents, they've hired you for a reason, and they kind of just, you know, catch and release. They're just, okay, go do what you need to do. And I'm elementary, so that's a little bit more hands-on, like as far as parenting, parents hovering. But I think as a classroom teacher, that's one of the differences I see between my tutoring clients and my classroom kids, is that there will be some more hovercraft parents in my classroom. And that can be hard to overcome at the beginning of the year. But in tutoring, it feels like I'm totally autonomous and I get to make all the shots on my own. And the parent really trusts that I know what I'm doing. Do you guys feel like that too? That, well, I guess, Ashley, if you're working with college kids, you probably don't have as many parents hovering, but I guess what I'm getting at is, do you feel like the autonomy in tutoring is like part of what attracted you to it?
Yeah,
Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So what led you guys, we'll start with Ashley this time. What led you to wanting to start your own tutoring business? I know you kind of touched on that a little bit ago with Varsity Tutors, but what was kind of the final straw where you're like, I'm doing this?
So yes, it did start with Varsity Tutors, but also like my whole life, I was just like, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And so I went to school and I got a PhD, and then I could go teach at a college. And now it's like, well, I don't necessarily need to teach at a college to like teach. So like starting my own tutoring business allows me to still go do something else if I want to, but like I will always have teaching. It doesn't have to be formally in the classroom. So it was really like, I still want to teach no matter what else I'm doing in life. Teaching is my passion.
Yes. And when you were creating your website, we went with the idea of using your name for your business, so that if you want to pivot at any point, that you could, because you have all these skills and now you have the entrepreneurship in your back pocket. So you can do a lot of things with that, which is really cool. Okay. You said something that I wanted to touch on about and I just lost it. So I'll go to Emily then. So what was like the nail in the coffin for you, where you were like, I need to just branch out on my own?
I left the classroom about 4 years ago, and so I've been working in like an office setting. And I didn't know at the time, I thought the only way to work with kids was I had to be a teacher or work for someone else's tutoring business. And that's kind of why I left it, got distracted, I'll say. And then, yeah, earlier this year, it just, I think finding your videos, and I found a couple other videos on YouTube, and it hit me that, oh, I could do this myself. I can't believe I've been missing out all these years, and I've been away from, you know, teaching, and I really missed it. And so when I realized I could do this myself, that's when I met up with you and we got going, and your coaching was awesome. And I'm just so happy that I can be kind of back in control of working with kids and setting my own schedule.
Yes. The setting your own schedule part is just so nice, isn't it? Yeah. You guys know I'm still in the classroom, but in the summertime, I'm just like living my best life because I set my own schedule. And this summer I was really adamant to do just Tuesday, Thursday, and not accommodate everybody. And you know what? I found out people were willing to accommodate me because they wanted to work with me. And so I'm sure you guys have found that too, that if somebody really wants to work with you, they'll make it work. You don't have to bend over backwards for them.
Definitely.
Which is not always the case when you're stuck in the classroom. You're kind of having to do whatever everybody else tells you what to do. So, okay, so awesome. What were some of your worries or fears before you started the course? Ashley, did you have any apprehension about it?
Not really. I just didn't know like where to start. Like, as you mentioned, it was just like, why haven't I been doing this? Like I've been tutoring for so long for other people. Like, why haven't I been doing it myself? So it was just like, I just didn't know where to start. And that was pretty much it. So like, once we got into things, I was just like, oh, okay, I got this. We could do this.
Right. Yeah. You just needed a roadmap. And once you had that, you were like, what? Yep. Why have I not been doing this? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. What about you, Em? Did you have any apprehension?
Yeah, just the fact that I'd been out of the classroom for a couple years. Like, can I still do this? Do I still remember how to do this? And then I know you really helped me find students to work with, because as I'm not a teacher at the moment, I didn't have like a list of parents to reach out to. But the more we dug into my personal life, it's like I actually do have a bunch of parents with middle school and high school. And so, yeah, Molly helped me come up with an email, and I reached out to my friends with kids in middle school and high school, and a couple of them did respond, and I started working with them at the end of this last school year. So that was great.
And you had even talked about your church group, right? Because you're kind of a mentor to some ladies or young ladies at your church. Is that right?
Yeah, I was working with like girls 12 to 18 at my church. So I reached out to those parents too. And I had a couple who responded who said they definitely want for this next school year, but they're going to be away for the summer. Oh. So I already have some students lined up for the new school year, which is good.
Perfect. Yeah. I feel like, sometimes it's a long game with the people you reach out to, but it can really pay off, because then you'll forget about them for a little bit and then they pop back up again and you're like, yes, clients for the fall. Awesome. Okay. Well, you guys made that question really easy. So what was like the deciding factor for choosing me to work with? Because you guys could have worked with other people. And what was it about the course or me when we talked on Zoom that made you pull the trigger? Ashley, do you want to go first?
It was definitely your vibe. Like, I was on your Instagram. I'm like, I feel like I know you. And so I'm just like, cool. I feel like you can help me a lot. We have a lot of things in common. I like that you're so bubbly and energetic. And I was just like, I'm just going to go for it. Like, what can possibly go wrong? And look at me now. Nothing went wrong.
All right. And I remember distinctly when I met you on Zoom, you were one of the first people that was like, I'm doing this. Like, I don't even have to think about it. Like, you were just into it right away, which was really cool, because I usually give people the time to think about it. And I'm like, no pressure. I'll still chat with you on Instagram if you decide you don't want to do it. It's like not a big deal, but you definitely it must've been the vibe, because yeah, you can tell. I had the same energy from you. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. What about you, Emily?
I agree with Ashley. Really, your personality. I think I found you on YouTube first. So those videos, being able to, I felt like I know you, and then stumbled upon Instagram, and then I kind of stalked you on Facebook. So when I finally met with you, I'm like, yeah, if I'm going to work with anyone and I'm going to do this, I want Molly to help me get this done.
And I have to say that Emily, I had a good feeling about you too from the get-go, and you didn't take long to decide. You just wanted to chat with your husband first and just kind of make sure it was the right decision. And then when we started working together, you gave me a lot of really good feedback, and Ashley too, but Emily was the very first person I worked with. So that was really cool, because you every week were like, you could work on this, but you were so constructive about it and helpful that every step of the way I was like, okay, I'm going to improve this. Thanks so much. So I appreciate you guys so much for that, because, just because I created a course doesn't mean I'm perfect, and there's still things that I need to edit and fix, and I want to change and update and grow with you guys. So, okay, very cool. All right. So let's talk about what you guys accomplished when we worked together, because you both have these beautiful websites, and I think I can share my screen and show them. So I'll start with Emily and talk about what you had done before. So, or Emily, I guess maybe you could tell us what you had as a website before, and then I'll show them what it kind of evolved into.
I remember, I knew I did not have a lead magnet, so we worked on that.
Yeah.
I wasn't clear exactly who I work with and exactly what, how I could help as a tutor. And then the tutoring service page was the one I think we worked on the most, trying to kind of condense exactly what I do for you and how much it costs and why you should work with me.
And you oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you had really awesome design skills from the get-go. So a lot of the things I looked at of yours, I thought looked professionally done, which was impressive for somebody that's not a website designer. And you're really good in Canva. And you had blogged before, right? So you had a little background in blogging. And I think that's one of the biggest things I noticed about what you did with the homework I gave you, was you got into blogging and you ran with it.
Yeah, I did. And I really enjoy creating the content. I've been able to send some of those articles to parents. Actually, I had a cousin reach out recently and she was like, you said something about an essay guide. It's like, Jared needs that. And I was like, okay, well, here's how to go grab it.
Perfect.
I'm like, you gotta get on my email list.
That is right. Yes, you have something irresistible. They want it. They got to give you the email. Perfect.
Yep.
And okay, so I'm going to show them your website in a second, but I want to go to Ashley first and then I'll pull them both up. So Ashley, you did not have a website yet, right?
No, I did not.
So what did you end up deciding to do?
I actually use your web designer for my website.
Erica, and she might be live with us now. I'm not sure.
Yes, Erica. I had no idea about like how to design websites or anything, and I knew I didn't want to learn how to do that either. So yes, Erica designed my website, but I had a lot of like ideas already just in my head. I just didn't know how to like get them to become a website.
Yes. And so one thing I want to brag on you that you had done was your comprehensive list of your services. It just beautiful. It was like nailed it. So I've already like I've had other coaching clients since you guys, and I'm always like, when Ashley's website gets done, I have to show you her list of services because it's just so cool, especially for people like both of you that are going to be working with older students that potentially could be clicking the button to book a service with you. On their own versus me who has elementary kids and their parents are just texting me a lot of times, not clicking a button. So, okay, I want to show them. Let's see if I can accomplish this without making a big mistake. All right. Can you guys see Emily's website?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, this is what Emily was talking about. She was able to, she's got her bio here. So it's what somebody sees when they get on her site. And then this is how they can get on her lead magnet, right? This is your guide, I think. Oh no, your work with me. No, that's perfect.
Work with me, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. I keep getting confused with other people's. Oh, perfect. So you have what you offer here. Oh, and it scrolls so nicely. And Emily, I have to brag on her because she pretty much designed this on her own. There was just a few things that I helped you tweak, but really you had a lot of this. Yeah, look, see, copyright Emily Scott, because that is all you. That is so cool. But what I really want to show them is your blog, because I just think it's amazing. So she has so many different great blog posts. And I love that you have the same picture for all of them, except they're slightly different. I just love how uniform that is. And
Thanks.
have you been using these on Pinterest as well?
I have. I'm putting them on Pinterest.
Good. Okay. And I just added a training on Pinterest, and I'm going to be adding a training on Tailwind too. So that'll be helpful. You had kind of a background with Pinterest, so it was not as hard for you, I think. Is that right, Emily?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to check that out because I haven't been getting much traffic from Pinterest. So I'm glad you added to the course. That's awesome.
Yeah, my own Pinterest manager, Lourdes, she created the training, and then I just do the voiceover for it. So, nice. And I'll do the same for Tailwind as well. So she handles all of mine, and I don't even know. She has a magic wand. Okay, and then here's Ashley's website that was created by Erica, my own website designer, who has a bonus training inside of the Tutorpreneur Academy, 2 bonus trainings actually. So this is great. This is Ashley when she got her PhD. Oh, I love that picture. It just makes me like feel empowered, like everything about it. And then she also has the booking for her Get Started button, which of course my internet wants to go slow. Oh, very cool. Okay, and then I wanted to touch on your services page, just your packages really quick. So Ashley, do you want to like kind of explain just like a little blurb about what you offer people?
Yeah, so my services are kind of like a membership where you can just subscribe, and all of them include access to weekly material for the various courses. And so you can do individual courses, or you can do a dual course because most students take a math and a science course at the same time. So you can do both of those as a package. But then I also offer some bundles where you can get a discount on things, as well as a la carte membership services. So if you only want just an individual session, or if you want some worked out practice exams or something like that.
Perfect. So I would encourage anybody watching this, if they need an idea of how to do their packages, you could look at Emily's site or Ashley's, because they both have really beautiful written scrolling. You guys both use Squarespace, which I'm a big fan of Squarespace. I think you can do the same with WordPress, but I just think there's something more clean looking about Squarespace in general. It's not as bogged down that I think some WordPress sites can get. So beautiful, you guys. Okay, so sorry I had to brag on you both, but I'm just like, your websites are just so good. Okay, so what would you say was like your favorite thing about either working with me or taking the course?
It really helped me not, put things on the back burner like, oh yeah, I should, start blogging. I'll do that next week. I'll do that next, and then 3 months go by and you've done nothing. The fact that I was checking in with Molly every week and I respond to homework assignments. I was that student.
Yes, you
who
were.
enjoyed it. So it really helped. The fact that Molly gave me a to-do list was perfect, because then I was able to get it done. And as I got more done and seeing, oh, I can really do this, then I felt even more motivated and encouraged.
Yes, you were a star student for that. Homework assignments, everything. All right, Ashley, what about you?
I would definitely agree. Just having someone holding me accountable for things was awesome, because like I was still going through my PhD, trying to defend and everything, and like everything was like wrapping up at the end, but it's just like, well, you can't just slow down just yet. Remember, you wanted to get this business off the ground. You still have things to do. And then also working on my lead magnet was absolutely my favorite thing. I didn't even know like a lead magnet was a thing before. And I'm just like, oh, this is so awesome. That's how websites get me, and I get their emails and everything. So
Yeah, so I need to mention that part was part of the coaching that we did together in addition to the course. So inside the course, that is not a lesson. So if somebody wants to do the lead magnet part, they have to do the coaching part with me. Although I could add that into the Tutorpreneur Academy. At this point, I feel like it's something that works so much better when somebody walks you through how to do it. What do you guys think about that?
I agree. You helping me with the lead magnet really made a difference.
Yeah, I've found with the tutors that I've worked with that if I could just essentially hold their hand through Zoom, getting it done, then it just gets done, and it gets done the right way, and it's not as confusing as watching like a YouTube video about, a couple things here and there, because you can't really find anything comprehensive about it, I think, online. You have to take it in a course, but then you're just watching a video in somebody else's course. So I appreciate that you both said that, because I think that's a huge part of starting any kind of business, and it's really helpful to have somebody walk you through it. Definitely. Okay, so if anybody watching wants to find you on social media or connect with you, can you guys tell us your handles or your website? I can also link that too in the Facebook group, so they don't have to remember your website. But where are you guys most active? They can find you.
So I'm getting my social media off the ground. So I have Instagram and just created a Facebook page. But also my website is now live, so you can also contact me on there.
So your Instagram was your name, right, Ashley?
Yeah,
okay.
Ashley Woolfork. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll put that in the description of this video as well. And then Emily, you want to tell us your Instagram, because you're pretty active on there, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm most active, is Instagram, and it's writingemily_. And then my website's writingemily.com.
Okay, perfect. I'll definitely link that so everybody can come find you and give you guys a follow and see the amazing things that you're doing. And thank you guys so much for joining us. And I'm just going to see if there's any questions in the Facebook group. I'm not sure yet if there was, because I think it disappeared. If we don't have any questions, I wonder if I'm hoping that we're actually live and I didn't click the wrong button, but either way it's recording, so I can definitely put it in the description, or not the description, in the Facebook group later. I keep saying description. I've got my YouTube lingo on. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. And I look forward to seeing all the amazing things that you guys are going to be doing soon.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Molly.